no, I think it will just be good wicket. There's no grass on it, so there won't be.
53 days, 58 games, and here we are down to the final of the Indian Premier League edition 2020. It's one of the biggest days in franchise T20 cricket, and it's the final of the IPL. When 2020 started with all the issues created by the global pandemic, I wasn't sure I would be doing this here on the morning of the IPL 2020 final. But here we are, and it's the four-time champions, and I don't know how many times, probably six-time finalists, the Mumbai Indians, taking on the first-time finalists, the Delhi Capitals. In soccer, it is famously said there are 22 men who chase the ball for 90 minutes and the Germans win. It's become very similar in cricket these days, especially in the IPL, I mean, where a lot of teams compete together to see either Chennai or Mumbai in the finals, and more often than not, it's Mumbai winning. Can the Delhi Capitals, however, change this? It's 2020 and anything can happen, like we all know. But what will happen? Well, only time will tell. There are a lot of things to talk about before the all-important final. It's the key battles, it's the super performers, it's the differential picks, some fun facts here and there, and some fantasy suggestions. But before I get in there, allow me to welcome on our show today, for the first time ever, the super blogger on the International Cricket Network ICN 360. He's an engineer by profession, but a cricket lover by passion. Allow me to welcome Sumedh Naik.
Hey,
Sumedh,
yes,
how are you?
thank you for the warm introduction. Thank you. I'm good.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We've seen you write a lot of really fun articles. I personally enjoyed a lot, and a lot of fans out there for ICN enjoyed thoroughly. So thank you firstly for doing it for ICN. It means a lot for all of us here. And welcome to the show. So it's the big day, the final of the IPL. What are your thoughts about it?
So yeah, maybe a year back, maybe some few months back, we didn't even know if IPL was happening, and now we are here. So as like I read a Harsha Bhogle tweet yesterday which said, when everything is grim, you go back to sport, and I cannot not agree to it. So it's been a wonderful year, and it's been a great IPL so far, and I'm hoping, maybe like it's too early to pick a side, but every leap year in IPL has given you a different champion, a new champion. So maybe Delhi would be the fourth time lucky this time. So we'll know. But having said that, some very close finishes, some great contests, some key battles within those big matches, and some super overs, some double super overs, some sound defenses, and a lot of other things as well. You could see a Nicholas Puran diving in the boundary to save a catch, and you could see a simple dolly being left out from the hands. So we had everything throughout the IPL, and this has been a great journey so far.
Yeah, well, that's cricket, isn't it? I mean, you go and take blinders and then you drop dollies. I mean, I remember Nasir Hussain saying it is Dinesh, especially for Dinesh Karthik. He drops dollies at Lords and then he takes blinders at Durban. So that's cricket. But you're right. The leap year statistics, that was really fun. I mean, even I did not know that. I know all the fans would have enjoyed it. There are a lot of these fun facts going around, especially with the finals. Mumbai since 2013 have won every odd year, and on the even year, they've just like screwed up so bad that they didn't even make it to the playoffs. But guess what? It's 2020, and here they are in the finals. Unarguably, the best team by far in the tournament, if you take any metrics, be it individual brilliance, be it teamwork, be it consistency. They just won everything big. They haven't chopped and changed their team a lot like a lot of other teams have, and that reflects in terms of how well they have done. So that's one thing. Coming to Delhi Capitals, they've had like a hot and cold tournament. They started really well, and then they just cooled down really bad. They did really poorly in that qualifier one against the Mumbai Indians. How much is that going to play on their mind? What do you think?
It is definitely going to play on their mind. But having said that, they have got a good momentum going forward for the with the win that they had last time against the Sunrisers, and that is going to play a huge role. I think the team is well balanced. Maybe a few changes here and there with regards to the statistics, but I think with Stoinis opening, they have got a lot of bases covered. and those have been those are going to come by as we see through the finals. And that, I think, the boost that they had last time might be enough gas for them to go.
Right. You actually mentioned Marcus Stoinis. There's a very interesting fun fact I was looking up the other day. The Royal Challengers Bangalore. Don't get offended. I know it's your best, it's your favorite team, but it's really funny. They let go Quinton de Kock, and he comes back and wins the IPL final for Mumbai Indians. They let go Shane Watson. He goes on to win the final single-handedly for the Chennai Super Kings. They let go Marcus Stoinis, and here he is once again opening the batting in an IPL final. If there is anything in that pattern, I don't see a brilliant innings from Marcus Stoinis any far. He did really well in that game the other day against the Sunrisers Hyderabad. What do you think about Stoinis opening? For me, I think that's a phenomenal move with his average, which is in excess of 50 when he plays in the Big Bash League opening the innings. It was about time they opened and then put the onus on the middle order to take it through.
Yeah, that's precisely it. And also, Stoinis is gonna do one thing if Stoinis clicks. If Stoinis has a good day, he'll make a Bumrah or a bowl that extra over at the top, which will give them some leeway at the bottom of the death inning. So they might have that extra option in the death to go all guns blazing, provided Stoinis is there at the top.
Mhm. That's absolutely right. A lot of fans joining in. Thank you guys for your comments. Keep them coming. If there are even any questions, keep them coming. So you did mention Bolt and Bumrah. Obviously, these are like the backbone of the Mumbai bowling. Everything revolves around Bolt and Bumrah, right? Like if you take one of them out of the equation really gets unbalanced, and then that's when Mumbai actually find themselves in trouble, especially with Hardik Pandya not bowling at all. I know Kyron Pollard is a cheeky customer, really smart, especially on wickets like this. But still, if Bolt or Bumrah go for a lot of runs, then then the game is in Delhi's court, I feel.
That is true. But having said that, throughout the Mumbai Indians campaign, there is not a single weakness that you could find. Yes, they lost the first match against Chennai Super Kings, but they had two super over finishes that happened. So which super overs could go either way, and you will never know. So those cannot be counted as losses. So when you talk about Mumbai Indians, there are only positives to talk about. They have had, out of the 11, they have had almost 8 to 9 players get man of the matches throughout the entire tournament. So during all of that, with all of that concern, and with regards to how the players have been performing, and mind you that all of this has been without a firing Rohit Sharma, not even in the team at times and not even leading the team at times. So this has been a very critical phase. But having said that, I think Mumbai Indians will also be excited and looking forward to this. They have had the odd year strategies and the odd year coincidences.
Right.
Maybe this is the first even year that they get through.
So you mentioned Rohit Sharma. It's very interesting. I'm a huge fan of Rohit Sharma. Probably there is no better white ball cricketer opening the batting right now in world cricket. But this is not the IPL that he would have liked to have, or any Mumbai Indian fan would have liked to have, right? Like this is not Rohit Sharma's IPL by any means or any standards. What do you think? Would Mumbai want to open with Ishan Kishan and Quinton de Kock, take the attack to the opposition, and then maybe play Rohit at 4? I don't like Rohit at 3 because you want Surya Kumar to play where he is playing. He's been phenomenal and he deserves to stay where he is.
So I think that is true. So Ishan Kishan might be a chance for going forward. But having said that, I think they won't alter much because Rohit Sharma is a class player, and throughout the years he has proven. So even for India, there have been times where he has some bad patches, but he has come back stronger. And maybe he himself would be hoping to see Kolkata somewhere in Dubai and play accordingly, play as he plays in the Eden Garden. So yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. I'm gonna pick Vignesh's. Firstly, Vignesh, there was a really fun comment where you said Rohit Sharma has made this team Atmanirbhar. That is absolutely true. It's a very fine-tuned T20 machine that just goes through as a juggernaut. There are no hiccups ever. So that's a very good point. So you mentioned what role will the toss play? I'll answer this just from my point of view, and then I would like to hear what you have to say, Sumedh. I've seen the past results in Dubai, unlike Abu Dhabi, where it was like 9-0 in favor of the side batting second. That's not the case with Dubai. It's almost 50-50. Chennai has chased down 2 games. Mumbai just proved the other day that batting first they scored 200 and then you can chase them down very easily. So it's not that big a deal with Dubai because there isn't too much dew that we've seen. There's always a wind blowing across the ground, so the dew doesn't settle down in a lot. But again, if dew does settle down, it'll play a big role because both these teams have two very good spinners around which the middle overs and even sometimes the couple of overs in the power play revolve around. So I feel it won't play that big a role today. It all depends. I think Delhi would want to bat first. Mumbai, it would actually depend on whether Bolt plays or not. That's my take on it. If he plays, they would still bat first and back themselves to defend it. If not, they would want to chase. So what do you think, Sumedh?
That is spot on. So Dew has played quite a bit of hide and seek with everyone. So that is like throughout the innings, throughout across all the three grounds. It's been there, it's been gone, and maybe we don't know if it's gonna be there tonight. But having said that, there is I'll say Mumbai don't mind bowling second, don't mind chasing for that matter,
Mhm.
but Delhi would want to bat first for a reason that Delhi is a bowler dominant side, a predominantly bowler dominant side. I'm not saying that the batsmen are not capable, but at least given some form that they have had, maybe a batsman would feel a pressure a bit, and the middle order has clicked at times, has not. The opening combination is still not quite sure there and thereabouts. So they would want to bat first and put up a target so that the bowlers could come back and plan accordingly to restrict
Right.
Mumbai in a cheaper way. So yeah, but for Mumbai, I don't think it matters much because everything is, all the bases have been covered, and I think they would be a better side on paper at least. We'll see on the ground how it goes.
Sure, that's true. Thank you, Vignesh, for the compliment there. Non-drive asked, are you streaming the final on this live? Unfortunately, we don't have the streaming rights for this, so we won't be streaming it live. Hopefully, one day we are there where we would be streaming it live. But sorry, unfortunately, not. Maybe that's a good idea to have something like a com box kind of thing session in between where there is a strategic timeout and we come online for like 5 minutes and discuss what's happened and what might happen going forward. So, Nandra, that's unfortunately no, we're not streaming live. The next question was something that I was going to bring up. So, thank you, Sarvesh, for doing it. So, if Bolt doesn't play, who plays? Coulter-Nile, Pattinson? I think Sumedh has a
Uh,
different answer. So,
yeah, I do. Maybe I have a slightest of chance Mumbai Indians and Rohit Sharma being a good thinkers of the game, and with also a great Mahela Jayawardene mind, and with also Shane Bond, Zahir Khan, and the entire legendary staff that they have, they might go for a like to like replacement in Mitchell McClenaghan, a left armer from New Zealand who has done it for them a lot of times before,
mhm.
who has got those crucial bits. Playing alongside Malinga in the past couple of wins that they have had, he has been crucial. Maybe he could be one of the picks to go for,
Uh-huh.
but we'll have to wait and watch. But if it comes down to if is not playing, I think both NCN and Pattinson will make their way to the final 11.
Absolutely. I think I like Mitchell McClenaghan as a pick. He's a big match player. He does leak runs, but he's a wicket taker. And I think in T20s, the best way to stop runs is to get wickets. And that guy can actually bowl anywhere. He can bowl with the new ball. He can even bowl in the middle overs. And at the death, he's got mean bouncers. So he can do a lot of things. But knowing Mumbai Indians, like you said, they have a superb staff, but I think they resist change a lot. They don't like to change a lot on the fly. So they might still go in with Pattinson. And you asked or Pattinson. I think the question is if Bolt doesn't play, then you play both. But if still Bolt plays, then instead of Coulter-Nile, I would still play Pattinson because the batting is really strong and Pattinson is just seems uh, seems to offer a little more than what Coulter-Nile does. So that's
Yeah,
that.
that is true.
Um, there are a couple of more questions. One is, should MI keep the same squad next season or they should bring? I think this is a question that we can probably answer in our post IPL review that we do of every single team. So, guys, we'll be actually be doing that where we review the performances of every single team and like dissect and analyze every single thing that happened. We'll take this question later. So, I'm sorry because this show we need to cut it short to only focus on the final. But that's a really good question, and we'll definitely get back to you in the next session. This is a very interesting one. It says, after the last match, can we expect the Delhi bowlers to curb the Mumbai batting lineup, or should Delhi be prepared to score big? So this is more like, what should they do? Bat first, bat second? What should they do?
I feel like I feel the form Mumbai is in there. You cannot curb the Mumbai batting lineup so much. You need to step the game in the opposite department. That is bat yourself the best. So yeah, but having said that, the Mumbai has a lot of depth and they are good players of spin. So I have always said Akshar and Ashwin for Delhi are the ones where around whom the Delhi bowlers revolve. Yes, Rabada and Northia both are wicket takers for them. They are also in the top 10 wicket takers in this
Mhm.
IPL. But having said, Ashwin and Aksar are the two key spinners around whom entire bowling revolves. So it is up to them how they go in the middle overs. Also because Mumbai's middle order, in fact, the entire Mumbai batting order is a brilliant player of spin. Each and every player will come and has the ability to tong the ball hard and long, like very long. So yeah, so we might not know if Delhi are good enough to curb, but it will take a miracle for Delhi to restrict Mumbai at a very small total if
Yeah,
they bowl first.
that's very true. I mean, in the first qualifier as well, Delhi didn't do really bad if you think about the first 14, 15 overs. They were pretty much on course. They weren't really bad. Ashwin bowled brilliantly. He got like 3 wickets. Akshar was doing really well. But then guess what happened? Then they got hit by Hardik Pandya. Pollard got out for zero of the first ball. They actually had three ducks, right, in the top five.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
and then what happened? Like Hardik Pandya, 17 ball, 40, 50, and then he just kills you. Like if you think about it, I think in the over 16 to 20, this is the last 4 overs that he's batted this entire IPL. Hardik Pandya has scored in excess of 180 runs at a strike rate of 194. Those numbers are astronomical. I mean, they're beyond ridiculous if you think about it. There's no scope for the bowlers, and he hits you clean. These are not like just clearing the boundaries. These are not Sharjah sixes. These are sixes that end up on the roads in Sharjah and clear Dubai, Abu Dhabi easily. So
Mind
what's
you,
going?
even Kyron Pollard, even Kyron Pollard for that matter, he has been a revelation. Though he got out on the first ball last time, but he is scoring at a very high strike rate, probably the best in the tournament when it comes
Yeah.
down to players. Yeah, so even he has those abilities to go hard. And if Nathan Coulter plays down at 8, down at 9, perhaps he might also be a good one to go forward.
So Sarvesh is like, would you see Ashwin opening the bowling today? I would love to see. I would love to see Ashwin bowling that lovely in the burst that just maybe if it starts gripping on the surface, you might get Deacock out, and if it just starts going with the arm, you still get Deacock or Sharma. You got Sharma last time as well. Ashwin is extremely crucial, I think, for the Delhi Capitals going today in today. Akshar surely is, but he's been doing phenomenally. But it's Ashwin who actually does not give the runs and also takes wickets. So for me, Ashwin opening the bowling today, yes, he should at least get 1 or 2 overs in the power play. What do you think?
Depends. I mean, if Delhi bowl first, then surely yes.
Yeah,
But if Delhi is bowling second, maybe not. That it depends because we are, mind you, bowling second when the dew settles down a bit. If it's there, there is a chance of some swing that the bowlers might get that Bolt himself exploited last time to get
correct.
those top three. So maybe not if they are bowling second, but surely he has a chance, especially against Decock and also struggling Rohit Sharma perhaps to go and strike the first blow.
Right. They say, do you think Delhi will start with Stoinis again? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I think they should because the opening hasn't been there quite a lot. Yes, the birthday boy from yesterday, Prithvi Shaw, will be eager to step in, but I don't think that is gonna change. We didn't even see Rahane the last time. Maybe the ploy is to bat Rahane at 6 or 7, or play him as a floater and push him up the order if there is an early wicket. But I don't see them doing anything, playing around with the opening stand of Dhawan and Stoinis.
I agree. I don't think there is going to be any change in that batting order. Uh, we'll take this one question and then we'll move to our kind of what we were thinking to discuss. If spinners are to play a major role today, does the scale tip towards Delhi because of the quality of spin? That is a fantastic question. It does slightly, according to me, but in like this T20s we've seen, if they can restrict, yes, but how many wickets do they get? The reason Delhi spinners are more effective is because if they don't give away runs, hitting Rabada and Nortye is not easy. I know the same thing applies to Mumbai, where if Krunal and Rahul Chahar don't give runs, Bumrah is very difficult to get runs off. But that's it. There is Even Bolt at the death is easier to hit. So is Pattinson and Coulter. So that way, I feel the performance of spinners of Delhi is more important and more crucial, and that's why the scale does tip towards Delhi.
But mind you, the players who have actually gone and created impact in bowling department have been leg spinners more often than not than the finger spinners. Delhi both have Ashwin and Aksar, who are finger spinners, and yes, they use their angle quite well. Aksar has a brilliant deception of pace. He will alter just that little bit here and there, and he will trap the batsman there and thereabouts. But overall, I rather am thinking that maybe Delhi would be tempted to go for Harshal Patel instead of Praveen Dubey and back their bowling with that extra seaming option with those his slower balls and off cutters.
I agree. I think Harshal Patel should have always played in this lineup. He has got extraordinary variations. And when I say variations, it's not just like fast and slow. Even in the slower balls, he's got like variations with the knuckle ball, the back of the hand ball, and also the off cutters that he bowls. So that way, Harshal Patel should actually make the cut in place of Praveen Dubey. You're right. But I still like finger spinners on wickets that are really kind of spongy when that's what you get in the UAE, where if it starts sticking in the wicket, the leg spinners are slightly easier to play considering they don't have that enough pace, unlike Rashid Khan. I mean, Rashid Khan bowls really quick, and so got that zip, and it's difficult to hit. But with others, it gets a little easier. But well, we'll see uh, how it goes. Now let's talk about some key battles that we were planning to see. So we did discuss Deepak Ashwin. The other one is Stoinis Dhawan and Bumrah Bolt. Now this is going to be crucial. Every single time, the last time they played, it was Bolt who's gone through and ripped through Shaw and Rahane and then Iyer, for example, and then Dhawan's been under pressure. So he's not well. He got a beauty from Bumrah in the last game. So let's not talk about that. That was a special ball. You get out to balls like that. But when it comes to opening with Stoinis, does that give Dhawan an added advantage? What do you think?
Yeah, so it might even get back the pressure back to Dhawan if Stoinis is struggling there. But having said that, Dhawan has a good strike rotation. He wouldn't eat much balls. He'll be just ticking around if the ball is not there to hit. And Bumrah and Bolt, both mind you, are like the best bowlers in the best fast bowlers in this IPL. The two of them together have had almost if I'm not wrong, they have had almost 49 to 50 wickets as a pair this IPL alone. So that in itself is a huge stat to overcome. And as I said, if Dhawan and Stoinis manage to play Bolt and Bumrah, it would be good. But if they manage to conquer everything that Bolt and Bumrah throw towards them, they might have that extra bowling from them. Those two extra overs they might have, which will benefit them in the death back again.
When I said key battles, Vignesh said Golgappa versus Vada Pav. This is probably the biggest dilemma that the world would face if you ask this question. These are I mean, at least for me, these are my top two foods. I don't know if I can choose one of them. I'll probably have one for lunch and one for dinner, I guess. I don't know. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to answer that one. Um, Arvind asked how important the toss will be. We actually already answered this, Arvind. So you might want to catch up once the show is done. This is a nice one. Any predictions on the battle for purple cap between Bumrah and Rabada? This is interesting again. Bumrah versus Rabada. I know everybody was saying, "Oh, just pack this purple cap and give it to Rabada, and he'll take it home." But that's not true. Bumrah's come back really strong. So this is going to be interesting. How they perform will define how their teams actually perform. What do you think, Sumedh? I'll let you talk before I say something.
Yes. So that is certainly a thing. Also, Bumrah will have to overcome a 2 wicket deficit just because Rabada had that extra game last time where he picked three in that 1 over, and he just got there up to +2. So, but having said that, maybe there is a chance for Bumrah. Also, he has an extraordinary economy of around 6.71 as compared to Rabada, who has it around mid 8s, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But so maybe Bumrah might have an edge, but as things go right now, I think it's not leaving Rabada's side. It's going to South Africa back again.
Sure. We did talk briefly about one of the what do you call one of the key battles. There's another key, not exactly a battle, but more like differential pick that I have. So it's the middle order. Pandya Pollard combination has been extraordinary for Mumbai, but we can't say the same thing for Rishabh Pant and Shimron Hetmyer. On their day, they are brutal. Like, I mean, they can destroy and kill any opposition single handedly. But that hasn't come yet. Hetmyer showed some amazing spark in the last game. Can he do it again? The reason I add Rishabh Pant here is I know a lot of people would think I'm crazy. Why would I even include Pant? He's had one of the most horrid seasons. He showed up plump as a potato, if I can say it in Navjot Singh Sidhu's way. He's plump as a potato. If you look at him, he's not as fit as he used to be. He just doesn't seem to be there. But you know what? Every IPL final has been about people who had either very okay or at least middling tournaments. You talk about Shane Watson in 2018, you talk about Malinga in 2019, you talk about, like, even if you go back in the day, it's about people, Manvinder Bisla for KKR. These are people who did not do like really well during the league stages. Come the final, they just like single-handedly won it for their teams. Could this be Rishabh Pant's day?
Yeah, it could well be. And I think one big innings from him is due coming,
Yes.
especially after he was dropped from the Indian white ball team, maybe. So that would
Mhm.
also be playing around his mind to make a statement there. But having said that, I don't see a reason why Shimron Hetmyer wouldn't go all guns blazing. It's his kind of thing, the typical West Indian flair that he brings to the
Mhm.
side. He'll go there and tong the ball, be it coming down at 39 for 1 or be it 100 for 1 if he's promoted
Mhm.
up the order. So that the score wouldn't matter for him because he has the ability to hit big, hit bigger boundaries. And Delhi of the Dubai of the three grounds has been a slightly quicker, which
Uh-huh.
Shimron Hetmyer will himself like to be at, like to be with.
That's That's actually true. That's actually very true. And that's why I think Mumbai has been special because Pandya and Pollard have never had to think in this season. Every time they come out to bat, it's either the 14th or the 15th or the 16th over, and they just do one thing that they know really well. That's go boom, boom, boom. I'll be very happy to actually see Mumbai like 4 down for 10 runs. Can Pollard and Pandya stitch together a 12-over partnership and then go berserk? I know Mumbai fans will hate me for saying this, but that will be a real test of character. But I mean, you don't fix what's not broken, right? So hopefully they would not have to do that. um, this is what Vignesh says. That's a good point. Pant could silence all the voices by doing a breathway. That's interesting. You don't do breathway every day, right? You do it once in 100 years, once in 200 years, or once forever. I don't know. Well, that will be big if you can do something like that. This is like becoming a new thing, right? Can you pull off a Tewatia? Can you pull off a Brathwaite? That's what's happening in cricket. This is nice. Pairing of Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav, quietly making Mumbai the formidable force. This is exactly my point that I was saying, Amok, that Pandya and Pollard have not had to bat in crisis situations because of these two guys, and even Dekok at the top. They don't lose 4 wickets before Pandya comes into bat, and that's already 15th over, and that it's easy for him. So Kishan and Surya Kumar have been phenomenal. That actually brings me to the next point that I was going to cover. So I'll put you on the spot for that, Sumedh. For me, for the Mumbai Indians, the star performer pick would be Surya Kumar Yadav. Whether it is fantasy leagues that everybody is really enjoying, or whether it's the real game today.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. How often, like in this year's, he has at 450s. He's probably Mumbai's third highest run getter. But
Mhm.
he has been there and he has said, "Yes, I am here. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to take Mumbai to the finals and probably even to the title." So yes, Surya Kumar Yadav is gonna be a star performer. I don't see him leaving any fantasy lineups throughout India. So yeah, Surya Kumar will be one to watch out for.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think Mumbai will maybe not depend on him a lot because the kind of stature Mumbai's batting has had. But
Mhm.
Surya Kumar Yadav will be a key, especially if there is a wicket going down early.
Absolutely. I mean, we are just minutes away from the toss. And like we mentioned before, that I don't think, like both of us don't think toss will matter a lot. I'm still going a lot with the spinners. I think Ashwin Akshar, especially Ashwin, I think is extremely crucial in this game for all you fantasy fans out there. At least from my side, I would definitely have Ashwin as a pick. I might as well have Deacock, but not make him a captain or vice captain because maybe Ashwin might get him up front. But that's just me going a little too far with my analysis, I feel. Siddesh asked a question: how good will Bolt be after his injury? Well, that's the question that a lot of us are asking. I think we'll have the answer for this during the game how good he will be. Well, we don't know till he actually bowls. But I
But
don't. Mhm.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would add that given the Mumbai's strength with the ball
Uh-huh.
and how much resources they have in the tank, how much is left with them, I don't think Mumbai will play him unless he's entirely fit. So if he's playing, he will deliver and he'll be at his imperious best as
Uh-huh.
always.
Uh-huh.
And if he's not, then I think if he's not fit, then I think Mumbai has enough options to turn to in a Pattinson or a McLennan.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, that's a good point. But can McClenaghan or Pattinson, anybody else, pull off what a Bolt can pull off in the first 2 or 3 overs? So I guess if Mumbai can get away with Bolt only bowling 2 overs in qualifier one and still winning, if he can be like 80% fit and give those 2 3 overs up front, I think they might still go with Bolt. But again, we'll see. Well, only time will tell us. Um, the toss is like.
Meanwhile, I think yeah, Delhi has won the toss and has elected to bat first.
Exactly. So
So
that's
yeah,
probably what all of us were talking about. It makes perfect sense for Delhi. I don't think it really harms Mumbai. We'll still wait and see what the toss says. I was looking at the pitch report just now. The pitch looks like a belter, is what they're saying. Batsman can actually hit through the line. There's a lot of bounce in the wicket, and whenever there's a bounce in the wicket, people talk about fast bowlers. But I think spinners like Ashwin become extremely dangerous when there's a bounce in the wicket. He will start getting those revs on the ball. He will slow down his pace, and then rather than hitting it long, you'll start hitting it higher in the air, and there are greater
absolutely.
chances of you getting caught out. So I know I'm going too much rant about Ashwin, but he might
Yeah,
be my pick for
yeah,
the IPL fantasy
yeah.
today.
That is absolutely true. So also one of the things is I'm not sure which trip are they playing on, but being a finals, I'm assuming it would be the center pitch. But
Uh,
even then, Dubai has a lot long boundaries, and the ball will go into the air more often than not, and it will be up to the players and the fielders. The fielders have to be in the right place and
right.
cover the right places. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you did mention fielders and field placements. What is very interesting is how Shreyas Iyer handles the situation. It's the first time Delhi's got into a final. A very, very young captain. He's got really, really big players in the side. He's got Ponting there out there coaching. It's going to be massive responsibility on his shoulders. It has affected his batting a little bit. Can he come good today in terms of his batting and his captainship?
Yeah, I think he has been wonderful with the captaincy aspect. Even the last time you saw the ploy of holding Ashwin a bit, he didn't bowl Ashwin for a lot of overs at the start. He
Mhm.
waited for the things to slow down a bit and then brought back Ashwin. And he used, I think the use of Marcus Stoinis was phenomenal. The informed batter just came, stepped up, took that wicket of Kane Williamson, the very pricey one,
Yeah.
and I think that was the point where the entire match changed. So at least Shreyas Iyer with the captaincy aspect has been phenomenal,
Mhm.
and I think he'll be one to look out for with the bat as well because he's a player. He has been a match winner for Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy in the domestic cricket, and he has seen all these things a lot. He has been under pressure. He has brought teams back up, brought all the Mumbai teams back up, and has done very well. So I'm hoping he comes down good. So yeah.
Mhm. Nice. So we do have the teams actually. I think Bolt is fit, so Bolt will
Yeah,
play. And there is a very
and
interesting
interesting.
change.
Yeah,
They have replaced Rahul Chahar with Jayant Yadav, and they're saying that's because there are too many left-handers in the Delhi lineup. I think that does make sense. They've got Hetmyer, they've got Pant, and then they've got Shikhar Dhawan as well, and Akshar Patel again. So that's a very good point. I think that's not just a tactical decision. That's a sweet way of saying it. Rahul Chahar got blasted last time he played here, so I guess that's playing on their minds as well. I would have still played Chair, to be honest. He's been very good throughout the tournament. But well, maybe Jayant Yadav adds that extra batting as well. And like they said, it's with left-handers. I don't know if it's the same pitch they played on last time, Sumedh, because from what I'm reading, it seems like it is the one. So I don't know if the used pitch will make some difference. But both the captains are saying that it's a belter of a wicket. So I guess maybe a 175, 180 run game from what I see right now. Uh, this is a good one from Vilas Duri. He says 55 needed of 24 for MI and 4 down. Pollard is on the field. Would you send Krunal or Hardik? Well, Vilas, I don't think they would sell Krunal. I mean, I think you're taking a dig at the Mumbai management because they hold back Hardik Pandya and send Krunal Pandya above him. But I think they do that only to make Hardik wait until it's the end of the 15th over. I don't agree with that strategy. You can ask like my friends if you want to. We always fight about this. I always tell them why I don't like the think tank of Mumbai Indians a lot of time because they hold back Pollard for so many years and now they're holding back Pandya. These are your top hitters, top players in great form. They should bat as many overs as possible. But well, with 55 needed of 24, it has to be Hardik.
And especially I think if it's four if only 4 overs are left,
Yeah,
uh, Hardik would just play, come down, hit the first ball for a six, maybe will release the pressure. And for a reason, I know Hardik is not gonna be the one who is gonna eat up a lot of deliveries. So even if he is sent up the order, he'll hit or maybe just miss or just give it away, but he wouldn't compromise on the deliveries aspect.
yeah. Everybody is talking about how Jayant Yadav is in place of Rahul Chair. How does it
Uh,
make it different?
again maybe what you said initially at the start is coming true. The finger spinners are apparently just it's just the finger spinners that are left in the game. So
Yeah,
yeah, maybe there would be some some tactic behind it. Maybe they might have Jayant Yadav. I'm just going above board and just trying an experiment. But maybe against the left hand of Shikhar Dhawan, they might have Jayant Yadav open the bowling for Delhi Capital for Mumbai Indians. Sorry,
yeah.
maybe that could be one that they are looking at. But
I
we
hope they
only
don't do
time.
that. I just hope they
Yeah.
don't do that. They don't mess around with Bumrah Bolt at the top. That is the best fast bowling unit in T20 cricket when it comes to opening the bowling. Don't break that partnership. I hope they don't do it. I don't think they will. Uh, there are questions which says should Stoinis open the batting. I think we answered all these questions before, so you might want to catch up once the live is done. Delhi's batting first. Does it make things difficult for Mumbai? Interesting. What do you think, Sumedh?
I don't think, as I said, you cannot take a weakness out of the Mumbai side. So you can never just even if Delhi scores 200 for the matter, it will come down to a start. It wouldn't come down to the capabilities of the Mumbai batsmen. If Mumbai has a blistering start after Delhi score 200, they can still make it. That's the firepower they have in the middle order and also down the order, perhaps.
Mhm.
So maybe it was important for Delhi to win a toss and bat first because they rely heavily on their bowling. But
Right.
Mumbai would just be like, go there and they would say, give me play time and we will deliver. So I don't think Mumbai would matter a lot.
I agree. I think it comes down to how Delhi start when they bowl. If they can knock the top two, top three very quickly, that's when Mumbai will be under pressure. Because with Pollard Pandya to come down the order, 24 ball 55 like somebody mentioned, it was Vilas Duri 50, 60 or 4 overs 70 is a little too much, but 60 or 4 overs is probably easily achievable for them. But of course, there is Rabada and Northi on the other side. So it's going to be a very healthy competition. I don't see this being a one-sided affair. Hopefully, it is not, but I don't see it as well. This is a question Rahul asked, and I think we answered this, Rahul, some time back. I did ask this question to Sumedh, and he did say that they will not want to disturb the batting order. Rohit Sharma is a class batsman, so it's better that he opens. And if he strikes big, you never know with Rohit Sharma. He can get you those hundreds even in T20s. So, what's the best lineup for Delhi? What do you think will be the top five for Delhi, Sumedh?
I think the given the big match and given how much stress they have shown on Steines and also Hetmyer in the last game, I think they wouldn't want to alter. I would say Rahane at six, maybe as a floater if there are a couple of early wickets.
Right.
He might come down to number four, but I think if that's not the case, there is no need to change the batting order for them.
Yeah, I agree. I would play the same order. And I'll just like if I'm Ricky Ponting, I'll just go to Shreyas Iyer and tell him, dude, go play your game. You are an extraordinary batsman. Do what Surya Kumar does for Mumbai. Do that for Delhi, and we'll win this final. It's very important how Shreyas Iyer plays. To be very
It's
honest, and
it's
Vignesh says
interesting to
something. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I sorry to cut off, but it's interesting to see. I just realized how many Mumbaikars are gonna play in the Mumbai and then there are actually a lot many.
That's true. And Vignesh made a very valid point. He says legends will be made today, and that is very true. I mean, IPL is all about they say where talent meets opportunity, and this is the biggest opportunity that you can get as a player. Perform on the biggest franchise T20 cricket tournament in the world. It's a final. Pressure is on you. Big stakes are it's all big stakes. So definitely legends will be made today. I think we're done with our time. We'll let people go get their fantasy teams done. I need to get mine done as well. So thank you, Sumedh. It was excellent. It was phenomenal having you. I hope you had fun. I did. I hope all the fans did have fun. So just some closing remarks. I'll put you on the spot. Your predictions, who's the winner, and then I'll close it up.
As much as I think Mumbai is the better side on paper, I would say let the leap year coincidences continue and let Delhi go big.
Okay, that's a very diplomatic answer, but I kind of know where you're coming from. For me, I want a new winner in the IPL. I don't want an IPL where all teams want to struggle, fight their way through, and then Mumbai or Chennai win the tournament, right? You want it to be more diverse. You want it to be someone new, a new champion. I thought RCB might make it this time, but unfortunately not. Since 2020, a lot of new things have happened. Let this be Delhi Capitals here. Mumbai looks strong, but I hope Delhi wins. Thank you everybody for all your kind words. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Okay, we'll take one last question. It's a good one. So, who will be under pressure more, Delhi or Mumbai? That's a tough one. I don't think Mumbai is under pressure. They've got nothing to prove. Delhi's got a lot to prove. So I guess Delhi
But
will be under.
I don't think pressure is gonna come and play a huge role. At least in the start, maybe if there is some crumble, but at least in the start, it's not gonna happen.
Sure. Umpires for Mumbai. Vignesh making some controversial statements. I hope this goes and reaches Twitter. That'll be fun. But yeah, all in all, thank you everyone for joining us. It was great fun. Thank you, Sumedh, for doing it. Just before I go, all I will say is 2007 T20 World Cup. It was Mahela Jayawardene taking on Ricky Ponting, both as players. 13 years later, it's the final of the IPL. It's Jayawardene taking on Ponting, both in a final again, but as coaches this time. Back in the day, it was Adam Gilchrist opening the batting, an Aussie who killed it and won it for Ponting. Can Marcus Stoinis do the same? I leave you guys with the thought here. We'll see you guys on the other side, probably with the post-match analysis, if not with the analysis of every single team and review each of the team's performances in this IPL going forward. Thank you for joining today, and I hope to see you guys again on other shows. Thank you, Sumedh, once again. Have a nice day, and bye
Thank
for
you.
now, and take care.
I think it will just be good wicket. There's no grass on it, so there won't be